Industrial sickness and its remedial measures. Economic development in a country is directly related to the level of its industrial growth. Expansion of industry leads to greater utilization of natural resources, production of goods and services, creation of employment opportunity, and improvement in the general standard of living. So, usually we all relate to industrial development as economic development as well. Okay. So, in any country, if there is industrial development or the industrial sector is prospering, the economy will also prosper. Okay, this we have been studying since the very first day, that if industries, businesses prosper, the economy also prospers or benefits from it. Okay, so expansion of industry leads to greater utilization of natural resources. So whatever resources, we all know that resources are limited, right? Resources are scarce, so we always want to make proper and optimum utilization of these resources. Then production of goods and services, creation of employment opportunities. So all these things can happen because of expansion in the industrial sector. An industrial unit in an industrial unit is like a human body. A person becomes sick if any part of the body is infected. Okay, so any industrial unit is the physical body of the country. If it does not prosper well, or if a part of it is not doing well, obviously the body will suffer. Similarly, an industrial unit can become sick in a minor way when only one or some aspects of its activity is affected, like when its segment like production, finance, marketing and personnel are affected, it gets into sickness. So basically, what does industrial sickness mean? Just like a human being gets sick, it means that it has gotten some kind of infection in any specific part of the body. All right, but even if we have infection in just one part of the body, the entire body is in pain. Okay, so sickness in an industry also means that if there is a problem in any one department or one part of the industry, or in one part of the firm, the entire firm will suffer the consequences, or will not be able to function properly. For example, if the production department faces some problem, like let's say there is a power failure. Okay, so the machines cannot run, the production will not happen. If the production stops, the delivery will be delayed and sales will suffer. So whatever marketing techniques, whatever marketing schemes and strategies we have followed or incorporated will go in vain, right? The financial structure will also suffer, because unless and until we sell the goods, we will not earn. Okay, and until we earn, we will not be able to stop the salaries of the employees. Okay, for example, if it takes me 1 month to do the production and deliver the goods to the retailers and wholesalers and get the sales revenue, now if there is a power failure, it will take me longer than 1 month. Okay, which means that I will have to pay the salaries of my employees from my own pocket. Okay, so all the parts of the organization will suffer if there is problem with any one part. Industrial sickness is a universally accepted term, root cause of which is directly or indirectly related to finance. So usually the main source of problems is the finances of the organization. It may be due to lack of finances, it may be due to improper planning of finances. Okay, so basically the money is the main issue of all sickness. Government of India, RBI, term lending financial institutions, commercial banks are worried a lot about a rising trend of sickness prevailing in Indian industry. So a lot of in companies, a lot of firms, a lot of industries are showing this kind of sickness problem. Okay, it is just like infection in humans, it spreads. Okay, now problems in finances are can be caused due to various reasons. You cannot judge what can cause a financial problem. Like here we took the example of if there is a power failure, the production will suffer. Then because of delay in production, we will have to pay the salaries of the employees until we get the sales revenue, right? Now if it takes for 2 months for me or 3 months for me to cope up with the problem in the production department, I will have to arrange for salaries of all the employees for those 3 months. Okay, which means I will have to cut down other expenses and use that money as salaries for my employees. Okay, this will create a financial problem in the company. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Then we come to the concept. The sickness of a firm has been defined. Now, basically, what does sickness mean? Now you may have understood what sickness is. I am referring to. It is any problem that can occur in an industry or in a firm, which can make it unprofitable. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
The sickness of a firm has been defined as the situation where the rate of return realized on invested capital, taking risk involvement into consideration, is significantly and continuously less than the prevailing rates on similar investment. Okay, so here what we are trying to say is that whenever the return on investment is not proper, the company is prone to get sick. Okay, now return on investment can be anything, like the money invested in the production of goods. If it is not realized, or if the profit is not up to the mark, if the number of sales do not come as expected, I will not get the expected amount of return on the invested capital, and this will create a problem in my company. In other words, we can say that it is a situation where the revenues of a firm are insufficient to meet the costs, and the average rate of return on investment is less. So revenues of the firm are insufficient. So what does sickness means? So this can be called the definition of sickness. Okay, here a situation where the revenues means income of a firm, are insufficient to meet the costs. Okay, and the average rate of return on investment is less than the firm's cost of capital. Okay, so cost of capital, what does cost of capital mean? Can somebody tell me what cost of capital means? Nobody? All right. So cost of capital is basically the uh, expense that I have to pay, or the interest that I have to pay on borrowing the capital amount. Okay, like interest on capital. Obviously, when I borrow the interest, when I borrow the funds for capital investment, I will have to pay some kind of interest or cost, or some kind of dividend on that capital, right? That is what cost of capital means. So if that amount of interest is more than whatever returns I am getting, whatever profit rate I am earning, then it is of no use to do this business. Okay, I am paying more than I am earning, so obviously it is a bad decision. I hope everybody understood this part. This is very important. Has everybody
Yes, ma'am,
got
it is clear.
Chal. Good. Then a sick unit is unhealthy unit to common men, a dividend postponing unit to investors, a losing or discouraging unit to industrialists, a doubtful debtor and a weak borrower to creditors and bankers, an industrial problem unit to the government, and a victim of technological changes to technocrats. Technocrats, this is not technocrats, it's technocrats. And a bad employer to workers, and great wastage of technical and human resources to the country. So this is what a sick unit means to every interested entity or every interested party in a business. Okay, so what did we say? To common men, like a person who is a customer, you can say, to them a sick unit is an unhealthy unit, okay, which is not functioning properly. Then for investors, a sick unit is a dividend postponing unit. Postponing unit means they do not pay dividends in the proper time. Okay, then to industrialists means to other industries or to other firms, it is a losing or discouraging unit. Okay, so some unit which is not earning properly. Then a doubtful debtor and a weak borrower to creditors and bankers. So anybody who lends funds, to them you are a weak borrower. Then for government, it is a industrial problem unit. And for technocrats, what do technocrats mean? Technocrats are people who are involved in creation of new technology. For them, it is a victim of technological changes. Means they consider that due to continuous inventions in technology and launching of technology, new production techniques, etc., the sick unit may have fallen victim to these changes. Okay, so some companies cannot keep up with the constant changes in technology, and that is when they become sick or they lose their competitive advantage. Then for workers, the sick unit is a bad employer because proper time salaries are not provided at that time. And for the country, it is a great wastage. Now wastage of what? Wastage of technical and human resources. Okay, then to ascertain the symptoms of disease of industrial sickness, what can we do to judge that my industry or my firm is becoming sick? Firstly, the rate of return of investment and capital cash flow. This has to be judged. What is the rate of return on investment? What is the profit earning capacity of the company? Then ability to meet socio-economic obligations. So socio-economic obligation means the expectations of the society as well as the economy. Okay, means from the earning point of view and from the success point of view. And then third is capacity to redeem its debts. Does it have the capacity and ability to fulfill or pay back its debts, whatever they have borrowed from the market? Then profitability. Is it actually earning profits in the long run? Then ability to face competition, ability to acquire shares in the market, etc. So these are the things that can ascertain whether my business or my unit is sick or not. Okay, then next is causes. So causes we'll study tomorrow. We'll stop here now. Okay, does anybody have any questions related to all this, whatever we studied today? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So please go through whatever we have studied today, and we'll continue tomorrow. All right.